And I admit, I have used it both ways. I have used it as a distraction and as a connector, both in the real world and the virtual world. Everybody loves saying smartphones make us less present, but I think that's only half the story. In reality, your phone can actually make you more present if you know how to use it. Yes, I get it. If you're scrolling TikTok at dinner, that's rude. But that's not the whole picture. Before we get into how I think it can be used to enhance being present, be sure to give this video a like. Comment something about your phone that actually helps you connect better with someone in real life. I'm not talking about with messaging them, I'm talking about in real life, like in person, because I bet it's more common than people admit. Be sure to subscribe for cultural commentary and rants from a man caught between generations. And last but certainly not least, feel free to join me at the Zillennial Nexus Point Discord to keep the conversation going. Link will be in the description below. Getting back to the main point, the phones make us antisocial crowd, often older generations or social media scolds. They're the ones who are claiming that it makes you antisocial. And yes, it can kind of be like that if you're actively ignoring someone. Look, I'm not trying to defend people being on their phone to actively ignore a person or look through them when they look up. What I'm trying to say is they all sound one-sided, borderline clownish, really. They ignore the ways phones integrate into real social life and can enhance said social life. So when someone says, "Put your phone down, be present, bruh," they're ignoring how the phone might be the thing you're sharing with the group. Yes, again, ignoring people on your phone who are physically there, that's not cool. I get it if it's a stranger, but if it's a friend or family member, yeah, that's crossing a line. But again, that, as I always say, the tool itself is value neutral. It's people choosing to use the device that way that's the problem, not the device itself. Here's the thing. A smartphone is a tool for connection. Used wrong, it can be a distraction from people who are physically there. But believe it or not, in addition to connecting to people online, like with me through the Discord, link in the description below, or by watching this video, you're already connecting with me in some capacity. Used wrong, it can be a distraction from something in real life. But when it's used right, it can be an amplifier for presence. Because it's not about the phone, it's about what you're using it for in that moment alone. Again, scrolling TikTok at dinner, dick move. Don't do it. But when you are with your friends and you have something you want to show them that you either really want to see their reaction to, or you really want to show them you want to see their reactions to vacation photos and such instead of just dumping them into a message. That is actually something you can do, believe it or not. God, can you tell that I'm so tired of people crapping on smartphones? Anyway, in real life, showing friends photos and videos from things I did or showing them something funny that I want to see their reaction to, that is definitely something I like to do because it's fun to do. And guess what? I am literally using my phone to do it. To the slow living people out there, I would love to hear how you would, whether you think it's actually practical to print out funny things to show people to your friends on a piece of paper to avoid smartphones, to avoid using a smartphone. Yeah, I'm calling you out. Yeah, and also it can be used to demonstrate things like a couple weeks ago now. I got my friend to let me take a picture of him and then put it through Grok's video generation just to see what happened. It just made the picture of him move and have him speak complete nonsense. But hey, it was fun to see his reaction to it while we were there. Not only was it faster than if I asked him over messages to let me do that and then put into Grok Imagine and then send the result to him. No, I got to see his reaction to it because here's the thing. The phone ultimately becomes an extension of memory and attention. Like that's actually the real problem is people's attitudes about phones, not the phones themselves. Yes, scrolling TikTok at dinner and okay, I was on my phone quite a bit during the Patriots game at that friend's birthday party I talked about. But in my defense, both of my friends were upstairs for whatever reason and didn't invite me to play video games with them or something. So, yeah, most of the people were watching the game that I didn't care about anyway. Okay, I do. I am glad that I think the Patriots won, but if they won, I'm glad they won. But other than that, I'm not invested in the outcomes anymore. I'm going to do a separate video about. No, I think I already did. I'm going to do a separate video reinforcing why I don't watch sports in general. I actually watched this really great video from Lit Nomad, I think his name was, where he talked about how silly it is for grown men to watch professional sports. I mean, personally, if you enjoy it, more power to you. If you, as an adult of sound mind, yes, Lit Nomad's video, rooting for sports is for suckers. Yeah, again, personally, if you enjoy watching sports and rooting for the team of your choice, what you do with your free time as an adult of sound mind is your decision, and I respect your decision, even if it's not the one I would make, because I want you to respect my decision to play my video games, watch my shows, go see my movies, go out for my extended Sunday walks to escape my mom's psychotic cleaning frenzy. But anyway, getting back on topic, you can share things from your phone in person and essentially make it a slideshow, if you will, but use it to enhance what you're talking about. Like how back in, I think it was a mix of high school and college, I forget exactly when, but when it came to the PowerPoint presentations, we always told to keep the slides simple so that they enhance what you're talking about. It's like the long form thing is what I'm doing here right now, and then the slides are supposed to be like short little points and then images as well. Getting back to phones helping you be more present, they let you capture and share in the moment photos and videos together and documenting experiences to an extent. I'm not talking about the holding up your phone to get crappy concert footage for the entirety of the show. No, I think that's kind of dumb. What I do think is acceptable and all right, and what I like to do is I take like a 20-second to 1 minute clip max, depending on what I expect to happen. Like I did at the Theater of Electricity's lightning show at Adult Night at the Museum of Science. I took little clips of the lightning striking the machine, but I didn't hold up my phone for that for the full 20 minutes of the presentation. I got quick little clips. I would love to show them to you, but I'd have to add a flashing lights warning, so you're just going to have to take my word for it. But I took that footage for my personal benefit. Maybe I'll use that as B-roll in a video someday, without the audio, of course. But anyway, if you take like quick little photos and videos of the most impressive points before just moving on to put your phone away and enjoy the experience, it can actually help you be more present while also having something to remember it and something to show off to your friends, family, and social media or YouTube channel, like in my case. Yeah, it makes the moment more vivid, memorable, and communal. To just take a quick photo or video, but not to just hold up your phone camera for the entire thing. As I said, I think that's really dumb for when you're at a concert. Not that I've actually been to any concerts, but even though Moonwalkers invited us to take pictures and videos, I chose to just sit back and enjoy the show. I got the one picture I needed of me next to the moon landing model, and that was all I needed. Anyway, there's a something of a generational divide, but I'm pretty sure older generations also do this too. Older generations frame phone use as withdrawal, while younger generations see it as a natural part of bonding. Yes, messaging someone who is not physically there isn't the most polite thing to do. I try to avoid doing that unless I absolutely have to. But also, I guess I've come to accept that's just something we do, and I guess I've come to accept that it's all right. Again, as long as it's not constantly, I think it's more of a percentage thing. So if you do it the majority of the time, it's a problem. If you do it for a significant chunk of the time, it's a problem. If you do it once or twice, not happy, but I'm also not going to get too angry over it. Honestly, I would only really be mad at you if you took out your phone at the planetarium or at the movie theater. But yeah, overall, the whole argument of phones making you less present is more of a cultural panic than an actual legitimate problem. It's only a problem if you're doing all the things I said I take issue with, and then also if you're not paying attention to your surroundings while walking around. That's actually a case where I think you should not have your phone out. This is why I like my Apple Watch. I'm able to use it to get walking directions when I go to Boston, so I can just pull up my watch and make sure I'm going in the right direction. And historically speaking, TV once was destroying the family life, but now nostalgia makes it look wholesome. Basically, we all think that having the TV in the 50s house in Back to the Future was more wholesome than in 2025. I mean, 1955 in that movie, okay, you can admit that it was kind of a novelty and a new thing, and Lorraine's dad was trying to get up and running. And of course, the program they wanted to watch happened to be during dinner time, because 55, you couldn't exactly control when you were able to watch something. and it was unlikely to have a rerun. Although I'm pretty sure networks still saved a copy of it. I don't remember exactly how that worked. I know that very early films were discarded like old newspapers back in the very early days. And I don't think it wasn't until a certain point where people decided to start preserving films all the time. But yeah, the issue that I think the reason that the 50s set up like Lorraine's family and Back to the Future in 1955, I think that's seen as more wholesome because everyone is watching the same thing and everyone is physically present there and engaged mentally with the same thing. Whereas today, everyone's engaged in whatever they feel like on their devices. Anyway, comment if you actually feel less present using your phone. And if you're on the older side, do you think younger people are just distracted or using phones differently? I'd love to hear your take. And again, to reiterate, if you're constantly scrolling and ignoring the people you're physically with, yeah, like I said earlier, that's a dick move. It's not really polite. But blaming the tool instead of the behavior and the person's choices is lazy. You let me know in the comments what your personal rule is because I'd love to hear what you have to say. Anyway, smartphones do not inherently make you less present. They can make you more present if you use them to connect, share, and remember. The problem isn't the phone, it's how people use it. And I admit, I have used it both ways. I have used it as a distraction and as a connector, both in the real world and the virtual world. I send my friends things that I think they'll appreciate, and I've used it as a tool recently to prepare a thing we're going to do in person together. But yeah, I admit I've also used my phone as a distraction, preferably when I'm not with any of my friends, or if I am, I keep it to a minimum, or at least acknowledge what I am doing. I'm like, hey, I need to just respond to this person really quick. Okay, we're all good. Like, I think that's fair. Like, I would personally announce th- that that's actually important, and then you have my undivided attention. Because presence isn't about where your hands are, it's where your attention is. So if you have your phone in your hand and you're bringing up something to show someone you are with in person, or if you're doing something like what I did with my friend where I put a picture of him through Grok to see what video it would create, that's an alright use of a phone when spending time with people in real life in my book. So I'm going to leave it here for the video on that note. You let me know in the comments whether you think phones are really ruining us or if it's just another generational panic. Drop your take in the comments. Don't forget to give this video a like if you enjoyed it. Be sure to subscribe for cultural commentary and rants from a man caught between generations. And last but certainly not least, feel free to join me at the Zillennial Nexus Point Discord, where I'll be showing off some AI-generated videos that I put through Grok Imagine based on photos I've taken over the years. No, I'm not going to show you the one of my friend that was created with a picture of him, but I've got plenty of other ones that I can show off, so be sure to join me there. Link is in the description below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.